Hello, New York Yankees fans. We have brand new exclusive videos and the latest news for you. Before we get started, we'd like to invite you to join our channel and give this video a like. It's crucial to get exclusive access to the latest updates. The buzz started quietly, almost like a whisper carried through the cold corridors of baseball rumor mills. But it didn't take long before it turned into a roaring wave crashing through the Bronx. Word began to spread that Pete Alonso, one of the most feared power hitters in the game, was somehow, someway, making his way to the New York Yankees. At first, it sounded too wild to be real, the kind of speculation fans throw around late at night when dreaming about perfect lineups and championship runs. But then the chatter grew louder, insiders began dropping hints, and suddenly, the idea of Alonso in pinstripes didn't feel so impossible anymore. Fans started connecting dots, analyzing every subtle move from both organizations, and imagining what it would mean to have a slugger of his caliber stepping into Yankee Stadium. The Bronx, already known for its electric atmosphere, seemed ready to explode with anticipation, as if the city itself could feel something massive brewing beneath the surface. Social media turned into a battlefield of excitement and disbelief, with some celebrating the possibility, while others questioned how such a move could even happen. Yet, through all the noise, one thing became clear. The mere idea of Pete Alonso joining the Yankees had already ignited a fire that was impossible to ignore. As the speculation intensified, conversations began to shift from what if to how would it work, and that's when things got even more interesting. Pete Alonso isn't just another player. He's a symbol of power, consistency, and presence at the plate. Bringing him into the Yankees lineup would mean more than just adding another bat. It would reshape the entire offensive identity of the team. Imagine pitchers having to face a lineup stacked with sluggers, knowing that there's no safe moment, no easy inning, no breath of relief. Alonso's ability to change a game with a single swing makes him the kind of player who doesn't just contribute, he transforms. Fans began envisioning towering home runs flying into the stands, the crowd erupting with every crack of the bat, and the unmistakable energy that only the Bronx can generate. Analysts, meanwhile, started breaking down potential scenarios, debating what it would take to make such a move happen and whether the Yankees front office would be bold enough to pull the trigger. Every rumor, every hint, every cryptic message added fuel to the fire, turning speculation into something that felt dangerously close to reality. And in a city that thrives on big moments, this one felt like it could be historic. What made the situation even more intriguing was the emotional layer tied to such a potential move. Pete Alonso has long been associated with a rival identity, a player who represented something different, something that stood in contrast to the Yankees' legacy. The idea of him crossing that invisible line, stepping into the Bronx as one of their own, carried a sense of drama that only baseball can deliver. Fans began debating not just the impact on the field, but the narrative itself, the storyline of a star leaving one chapter behind to embrace another filled with expectations, pressure, and opportunity. The Bronx faithful are known for their passion, their intensity, and their demand for greatness, and Alonso would be stepping right into the heart of that storm. Yet, there was also a sense that he could thrive in that environment, that his personality and confidence were perfectly suited for the spotlight. The more people talked about it, the more it felt like a match that, while unexpected, made a strange kind of sense. It was the kind of move that could redefine careers, reshape rivalries, and create moments that would be remembered for generations. Behind the scenes, the speculation opened up a world of possibilities and questions about the business side of baseball. Deals of this magnitude don't happen overnight, and they certainly don't happen without a complex web of negotiations, strategies, and calculated risks. Fans and analysts alike began to wonder what it would take for the Yankees to bring Pete Alonso into their roster. Would it involve a blockbuster trade, a massive financial commitment, or some unexpected twist that no one saw coming? The front office, known for its willingness to make bold moves, suddenly found itself at the center of a narrative that demanded attention. Every decision, every silence, every subtle gesture was scrutinized as if it held a hidden message waiting to be decoded. Meanwhile, the idea of Alonso wearing the iconic pinstripes continued to gain momentum, fueled by the belief that the Yankees are always in the hunt for greatness. The Bronx, with its rich history and relentless pursuit of success, seemed like the perfect stage for a player of Alonso's caliber to elevate his game and cement his legacy. As the rumor continued to spread, it began to take on a life of its own, transcending the boundaries of sports news and becoming a cultural moment. Fans weren't just talking about baseball. They were imagining experiences, moments, and memories that could come from this potential union. The thought of Pete Alonso stepping up to the plate in a packed Yankee Stadium, the tension building with every pitch, the crowd holding its breath before erupting into chaos, became a vivid picture in the minds of many. It wasn't just about statistics or performance. It was about the feeling, the energy, the connection between player and city. The Bronx has always been a place where legends are made, where stories unfold in dramatic fashion, and where the line between reality and myth often blurs. Adding Alonso to that equation felt like adding another chapter to a story that never stops evolving. The excitement wasn't just about what could happen, but about the journey itself, the anticipation, the speculation, and the shared experience of dreaming big. And then there was the undeniable sense that something special was on the horizon, even if no official confirmation had been made. The rumor had reached a point where it felt almost tangible, as if it was only a matter of time before something concrete emerged. The Bronx, already buzzing with energy, seemed ready to welcome a new star, to embrace the possibility of Pete Alonso becoming part of its storied legacy. Whether it would actually happen remained uncertain, but the impact of the speculation was already undeniable. It had captured the imagination of fans, sparked endless debates, and created a sense of excitement that is rare even in a city that lives and breathes sports. The idea of Alonso in pinstripes wasn't just a rumor anymore. It was a vision, a possibility that felt close enough to touch. And in the world of baseball, where anything can happen and legends are built on moments of boldness, this was exactly the kind of story that keeps everyone watching, waiting, and believing that something extraordinary is about to unfold. But just when it seemed like the excitement couldn't get any bigger, a new layer of intrigue began to surface, adding even more depth to the unfolding narrative. There were whispers that this potential move wasn't just about strengthening the Yankees lineup, but about sending a message to the entire league. The idea of acquiring a player like Pete Alonso hinted at a level of ambition that goes beyond competing. It speaks to dominance, to the desire to build a team that doesn't just win, but intimidates. Fans started to interpret every rumor as a sign of intent, a declaration that the Yankees were ready to reclaim their position at the very top. The Bronx, already electric with anticipation, now carried an undercurrent of confidence, as if the arrival of Alonso would mark the beginning of something bigger, something unstoppable. The speculation wasn't just about a player anymore. It was about a vision, a strategy, and a statement that could reshape the balance of power in baseball. At the same time, there was a growing curiosity about how Pete Alonso himself would fit into this new environment, both on and off the field. The Yankees clubhouse is known for its unique dynamic, a blend of tradition, expectation, and relentless drive. Integrating a player of Alonso's stature would require more than just talent. It would demand adaptability, leadership, and the ability to embrace the weight of the pinstripes. Fans began to imagine how he would interact with his new teammates, how his presence would influence the chemistry of the group, and how he would respond to the intense spotlight that comes with playing in the Bronx. There was a sense that Alonso, with his charisma and competitive spirit, could become a central figure, a player who not only delivers on the field but also energizes those around him. The idea of him stepping into that role added another layer of excitement, turning the rumor into a story about transformation, growth, and the pursuit of greatness. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of such a move began to spark conversations across the league, with other teams and fans reacting to the possibility in different ways. Some viewed it as a game-changing development, a move that could tilt the competitive landscape and force others to rethink their strategies. Others saw it as a bold gamble, questioning whether stacking so much power in one lineup could come with unforeseen challenges. The debate only fueled the speculation further, creating a cycle of excitement and analysis that kept the story alive and evolving. The Bronx, at the center of it all, became a focal point of attention, with every rumor adding to its growing mystique. The idea of Pete Alonso joining the Yankees wasn't just a local story. It was a league-wide phenomenon, a narrative that captured the imagination of baseball fans everywhere and turned the spotlight squarely on New York. As the narrative continued to unfold, there was also a sense of nostalgia woven into the conversation, a reminder of the Yankees' history of making bold, headline-grabbing moves. The franchise has always been associated with big names, big moments, and a willingness to take risks in pursuit of greatness. The possibility of adding Pete Alonso to that legacy felt like a continuation of that tradition, a modern chapter in a story that has been decades in the making. Fans began to draw parallels to past acquisitions, to moments when the team made a move that changed everything and set the stage for unforgettable seasons. The idea that Alonso could be the next piece in that puzzle added a sense of continuity, a connection between the past and the future that made the rumor even more compelling. It wasn't just about what could happen next, but about how it would fit into the broader narrative of the Yankees' identity. Through it all, the uncertainty remained, lingering in the background like a shadow that kept the story grounded in reality. No matter how strong the rumors became, there was always the understanding that nothing was guaranteed, that the world of baseball is full of twists, surprises, and unexpected turns. And yet, that uncertainty was part of what made the story so captivating. It kept fans engaged, constantly searching for clues, analyzing every piece of information, and imagining all the possible outcomes. The Bronx, with its unique blend of history and passion, provided the perfect backdrop for this kind of drama, a place where rumors can feel as powerful as reality and where the line between the two is often blurred. The speculation about Pete Alonso wasn't just a passing story. It was an experience, a shared journey that brought fans together in anticipation of something that could be truly special. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. And just when it felt like the story had reached its peak, the momentum somehow kept building, pulling even more people into the whirlwind of speculation. There was a growing sense that something behind the scenes was quietly aligning, as if pieces were being moved in a way that only a few truly understood. The idea of Pete Alonso stepping into Yankee Stadium began to feel less like a fantasy and more like an inevitability waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. Fans started to read into everything, from subtle comments and interviews to the smallest roster decisions, treating each detail like a clue in a much larger puzzle. The Bronx, already buzzing with anticipation, seemed to carry a constant hum of expectation, a feeling that something historic could be unfolding right before everyone's eyes. Conversations spilled out of sports circles and into everyday life, with people debating the impact of such a move in barbershops, on street corners, and across social platforms. It wasn't just about adding a player anymore. It was about witnessing a shift, a moment where speculation and reality could collide in spectacular fashion. At the same time, there was an undeniable tension building alongside the excitement, a reminder that moves of this magnitude often come with consequences and difficult decisions. The possibility of bringing in a star like Alonso naturally raised questions about who might have to make way, what pieces could be sacrificed, and how the balance of the team would be affected. Fans found themselves torn between the thrill of gaining a powerhouse bat and the emotional weight of potentially losing familiar faces. That duality added depth to the story, making it more than just a celebration and turning it into a complex narrative filled with anticipation and uncertainty. The Yankees organization, known for its calculated approach, suddenly appeared to be at a crossroads, where every decision could ripple far beyond the immediate future. And yet, despite those questions, The allure of Alonso in the Bronx remained incredibly strong, almost impossible to resist, as if the promise of what he could bring outweighed any potential cost. Through all the noise, one thing continued to stand out above everything else: the sheer belief that this kind of moment is exactly what baseball thrives on. The rumor, the build-up, the endless possibilities, they all combined to create an atmosphere that felt bigger than the game itself. Pete Alonso becoming a Yankee wasn't just about statistics or roster construction. It was about storytelling, about creating a chapter that fans would talk about for years to come. The Bronx, with its unmatched history and passion, seemed like the perfect stage for such a dramatic turn of events, a place where speculation can transform into legend overnight. And even as doubts lingered and questions remained unanswered, the excitement refused to fade. It stayed alive in every conversation, every theory, and every hopeful glance toward the future, as if everyone understood that they were witnessing something rare, a moment where imagination and possibility come together to remind us why we keep watching, why we keep believing, and why the game never truly stops surprising us. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.